Hello everybody, Cybernary here with another set of tutorials. This time we will be going over the mod Thaumcraft, and this will be for Thaumcraft 4.1, which is the version that we're currently running in on Cybecraft. This mod is very expansive, and it can get very complicated. So in an effort to make sure not to gloss over any specific thing, I will be breaking this up into several parts. So please be patient with me as we go through all the steps to unlock everything that you can do with Thaumcraft. And a lot of the stuff I'm still learning myself as far as the advanced practices. So, but for this first episode, we're just going to start off on how you can start using Thaumcraft and using some of the things that it brings to you to make things easier when you're playing modded Minecraft. Thaumcraft is a magic-oriented mod, and it uses the essence of the materials around you to let you make incredible machines and do magical feats, either with a wand or with other pieces of machinery and magic items. So, very first things, you need a wand. This is a magic mod, and the very first wand you're just going to make in a crafting table. You're going to take 5 iron nuggets, and to get an iron nugget, all you need to do is get yourself a crafting table, get yourself an iron ingot, or actually you could do this in your own inventory as well if you have your crafting, your 4-bound crafting table, and 1 iron ingot will give you 9 nuggets, so you'll need 2 iron ingots to do this, because you'll need to do 2 iron wand caps. These are the caps that go on the wand, and this recipe makes 1, so you'll need to make 2 of those. How did I get more paper? Okay, and then the next thing you'll need is a stick. So 1 stick and 2 iron caps will make your very first wand. This is called an iron capped wooden wand. And as you can see, as soon as you pick up a wand, up in your top left corner of your screen, you'll get a new little like compass display, kind of very steampunky, and all 6 of those tubes that come out of that center ring show the different essence, or VIS, that the wand holds. Now, your very first wand can only hold 25 Viz, and if we open this up in our inventory, you'll see that since I'm in creative, it came in with 25 of each Viz. Now, to gain the wand that you make in survival will come with 0 Viz, and those 6 vials up in the top left corner will be empty. These are the 6 primary Viz that are in the game. It's air, terra, ingus, aqua, ordo, and perdidio, and those are the 6 primary Viz, or primary essences, that are in the world. Now you may be saying, how do I fill this up? Well, that's very easy. Let me show you. Throughout the world, in both this super flat world and in regular survival world, you'll find nodes. These are aura nodes. Now, you can't see them normally. I've got some special goggles on. That's what they look like to the naked eye. Okay? But I'll show you how to make some goggles. I'll show you how to make a couple other things where you can find these a lot easier, and you'll be able to use them to fill up your wand. Now, once you find them, you'll need to scan them, and we'll get to scanning in a minute, but you'll see, when you scan them, you'll see what symbols, essence they contain in them, and also up in the, sorry about the blinking screen, that's a graphic glitch with Thaumcraft. you'll also see up in the if you have what am I looking at, you'll see that it also has it listed up there in the little blue box. So you'll take your wand and you'll right click, and if you have any space, it will pull essence out of that node and into your wand. Now it has 30 of each. Your wand only holds 25, so you won't be able to pull all of it out of there, but that's good. You never want to pull the essence down to 0 because you have a very good chance of destroying the node, and you want to use that node again in the future to refill your wand. You're going to be constantly refilling your wand as you make more and more stuff. As you can see on the left hand side here, we've got a whole bunch of just regular old oak panel displays. These are all workbench recipes. Over here we've got a new style that I set up. Is a green wood, and this is using Thaumcraft's workbench, which also has a slot for you to put your wand in, and it requires a certain amount of magic in the wand to create the item. So that's why it's important to always know where you have some nodes in your world and how to recharge your wand. So that's kind of the basics on the wand. That's how you create one. Now everything else in Thaumcraft all is based on this book, Thaumaturgy. And let me toggle downfall real quick. And it will be your primary research book on how to find out a lot of the stuff that we're talking about. Every single recipe that I show in this tutorial is in the book. Every single item that I'm talking about is in the book. This book has a wealth of information beyond what I'm probably going to be talking about, because there are a lot of things that that I won't be able to cover in this tutorial series. So to get a book, and if you ever lose your book, you don't have to worry about it. The things that you have unlocked are tied to your character profile and not to the book itself. I could throw this book away and get another one, and my skill points, or my research tree, if you want to call it that, will still be the exact same. And to make one of these, it's very simple. You get yourself a bookcase, a bookshelf. You take your wand, it doesn't matter how much viz you have in it or what kind of wand it is, and you just right click on it with the wand and it turns into a thaumaturge. So you can right click on that and see it's the exact same as this one over here. And you can make as many of these as you want. It doesn't matter. You can have one at home, you can have one on your person, you can have one out in the forest somewhere. It doesn't matter. They're all the same. And so that's how you make a thaumaturge. And they are, next to your wands, they're probably going to be the most important item that you have in the game while you're playing Thaumcraft, because it will give you a lot of information. Okay, so a minute ago I was talking about the nodes and how I can see the nodes because I have these goggles on. When I don't have the goggles on, you can barely see a faint circle right there. And I guess if you have the same version and the same glitchiness that I've got, then you'll have the screen flashing as well. But the next thing you need to build after you get your book and your wand is called a thaumaturge. And a thaumaturge is, unfortunately, the item frames don't show it completely the way it should be. This is a thaumaturge. Okay, it's very simple to make. A couple gold. These are essence shards. That's an air essence shard, and glass. Okay, and that gives you a thaumaturge that you can go around and scan things with. So, but before we get into that, I want to talk about these shards. This is an air shard, and this is something that you will start seeing as you caving in your world with Thaumcraft loaded. And in fact, you may have already come across these items. And real quick, let's kind of go over these items that Thaumcraft adds to the world. First off, you have cinnabar ore. When you mine it, whether it's regular pickaxe or silk touch, you will always get this block. You must put it through a furnace, and you'll get this is called quicksilver, and it is in several recipes later on as we move on. Amber bearing stone. This will drop amber by itself, If you soak touch it, you'll just get this. And fortune also affects how many stones get dropped when you break this block. Now these other 6 here are all the 6 primal essences that I was talking about before when we were looking at the wands. You've got air, fire, water, earth, order, and entropy, and kind of death, weakness, that kind of thing. So those are the 6 primal essences that are in the game, and these are the stones that you'll see underground when you're mining. You can soak touch them and get just these stones by themselves, or if you break them you will get shards, and if you use fortune you'll get more than 2 or 3. I think if you break it with a normal pickaxe you'll get 1 or 2, but sometimes you can get up to 4 or 5 with 1 block. You'll get a lot of these if you do a lot of mining. They're all over the place. They do not have a specific level that they spawn in, but they do spawn in specific biomes. If you're in a desert biome, then you're probably going to get a lot of order and air. If you're in kind of a lot of places where there's a lot of lava, or down at lava level, you might see a lot of fire infused stone, that kind of thing. Jungles, you probably see a lot more earth, that kind of thing. So those are the natural ores that get put into the game when you load Thaumcraft. So whenever you see a recipe that calls for one of these shards, then that's where you get them. And a lot of times the recipes will call for any one of these shards, and you can mix and match as you choose. If you've got 3 stacks of earth but only half a stack of order, then by all means use up the earth. The recipes that only call for any of those you can use any of those. Okay, so we were talking about the thermometer. This is a very important tool that you'll be using. This is what you use to scan the world, scan items in the world for things that the magic that makes up these things. And to speed things up, there are several lists out there that show you exactly what you can scan in what order to unlock all the different essences that are in the world. But before we get to that, I need to talk about the research table and how to make tables and things like that. So, table. This is a table for Thaumcraft. It's very easy. 2 planks, or 2 planks and 3 slabs, and it can be any wood, and you make a table. Scribing tools. You'll be needing these. This is kind of a ink and quill. Kind of a bottle or a vial. Vials are a little bit down there, but you can use a regular bottle. Feather and ink sac will make you a scribing tool. Okay. Now, if you put 2 of these together next to each other and drop a scribing tool on them, then you will make what we call a research table. So that's what I've got down here. I mean, it's the exact same thing. Again, this is linked to the player profile, not to the table itself. But these are all the essences that are in the world. Now, I've obviously cheated in quite a few just so I can put all the stuff together that I've done. But when you first start out, the only ones you're going to see are the 6 primals. You're going to see air, you're going to see aqua, you're going to see ingus, you're going to see ordo, and you're going to see prodigio. Okay? Those are the 6 primaries that you're going to see when you first load up. And what you'll need to do is you'll need to take your thermometer and start going around and scanning things in your world. Okay? And the way you do that is you have it up. That's some oak wood planks. So I'm going to hold shift since I'm flying and hold down my right click button, and it's going to start scanning it. Well, look at there. Oak wood planks are made of trees. We know that, right? So now I've scanned oak wood planks. I know what magic is contained in that. And this list that I've got here, and again, you can find the lists online, and we'll go over them real quick. We'll show you how you can go through and scan everything that you need in the world to unlock all 40 some odd essences that you might need. So the first one is a torch. So we'll scan a torch. That gives us lux. And if you look down in the bottom right corner, it says I've discovered a clue to new research. Next is going to be cobble. I scan cobble. That gives me 2 more. It gives me 1 more research for one of my primaries, and then saxum, which is stone. And you'll see here which essence we're looking for. Next is coal, and we want to scan it to get potentia. We've already got ingus. That's the fire. So there's potentia. We've discovered it. We're going to scan a bowl next to get vacuous. And there's vacuous. Okay, so you get the idea. I don't have a button on that one. Let's put a button on that one because we need to scan that sign and get. Oh yeah, that's the reason I don't have a button on that. This is one of those. I need to remember what I was doing here. Okay, so occasionally you'll need to combine research to find a certain item or a certain research type or a certain essence. In this case, we're going to combine aqua essence and terra essence to get vicus. So if we come over here to our table, you can get air, aqua and terra and combine them, and that will give us the, let's see, did it show it? Okay, so there's vicus. It shows down in the corner. That's the heart with the rays around it. That's life. Okay, so by scanning those 2 essences together, aqua and terra, we gain vicus. So now that vicus is unlocked, we can scan some seeds and gain granum. So these are all tied together. I mean, if you don't have one thing, then you're not gonna. I gained herba on that one. Then you're not gonna have. And I've already got the wood planks. That's arbor. So I'll pause for a minute if you want to grab a screenshot of the first 8 that we scanned. Again, number 5 was combining terra and aqua together. Moving on, number 9 is we're scanning a trap door because we need to get modus. Modus is like the magic of movement. We're going to scan an iron ingot here to get metallum, and that's what that looks like, of course. We're going to scan a potion of weakness to get these 2 here, and that gives us precantatio and mortis. Mortis is kind of like death. You'll see precantatio, the purple wand, a lot. Precantatio is a very important essence in Thaumcraft, and you'll be seeing it quite a bit in the future. We're going to scan some chicken to get 2 more. That's Voltalis and Bestia. Bestia is the wolf. Voltalis would be just meat. And we already had the vicus, which is the heart. We're going to scan soul sand next for spiritus and viculum. Viculum would be the bear trap, and then spiritus, of course, being the ghost soul sand. So the reason soul sand has both of that because it is made of souls and it is kind of a trap. We're going to scan some paper for cognito, which is kind of brain smarts. Rotten flesh for humanus and corporatus, even though we already had corporatus from over there. We're going to scan flint for instrumentanium, which is the pickaxe. So let me step back real quick so you can kind of grab those that other 8, all those things that we scanned in the right order. And the order is important because they do kind of build on each other as a pyramid. Next is number 17. Did I not put wool in here? I don't put wool in here. Okay, well, let's grab some wool real quick. Right there. Sorry about that. Okay, so we're going to scan some wool, and we get fabrico and panis. Fabrico being the hammer, panis being the roll of paper or tape. Cake. Anybody like cake? This one's got lots of stuff, as you can see, because it's made up of a lot of things. Some of the stuff we've already scanned, some of the stuff we haven't learned yet. Sanio, which is the heart bottle, because it regains health. Vacuous, we've learned before. Fames is the bloody smiling guy. And the rest and then there's also Misa, which is the grains, because this is made of grains. So Fames, Miso, and Sanyo were the three things that we were supposed to learn from the cake. Now, that was 18, right? That was the cake. Now, if you don't have access to cows, or you can't actually make a cake, you can, you'll still need milk bucket, but maybe you don't have eggs. You can get those three by scanning an apple and a milk bucket. You don't have to do a cake. There's several other options for scanning, and you can even go to the route of combining essences, because every single one of these is a combination of all the primal essences in some degree or another. Obsidian is going to give us that eclipse-looking thing, Tenebra. Snow or ice will give us Gellum. Now, this time you're going to have to scan a blaze, so that will give you Alienus. And I think, okay, yeah, there's one other thing that you can scan. It's called an Obsidian Totem, and unfortunately I don't have any of those in my world because I'm doing the super flat world. There's the purple looking symbol is the Alienus, but you will see them if you have Thaumcraft loaded in your world, because as you walk around you'll see these dark patches that just has 3 or 4 obsidian stacked up like a totem, and if you scan that totem then you'll get the Alienus without having to go to get the blaze. I'm going to scan a diamond to get Lucrium and Ventrius. Lucrium is the hand that kind of represents greed. Vitrius is kind of gemology. Slime or slime balls will give you Limus. And let me back up here. Let's see, where were we at? We were at 17. So I'll give you kind of a chance to take a screenshot of that if you'd like. So 17 was wool, and then that gives you all the way up to 23. And then moving on real quick, a fence gate is the next item that you can scan, and it gives you Machina and I-tier. Machina would be the gears. Obviously a fence gate opens and closes, and I-tier is kind of travel magic. Now here we are at another one where we need to combine research, the 25th scan, to get Aurum. We need to combine air and precantatio. Now remember when I said precantatio you're going to see a lot of? So we're going to grab some air, we're going to grab some precantatio and combine them, and down in the bottom right corner we've got Aurum. Aurum is going to be this pink sun type thing here. So that's how you gain that aspect. And the further along you get in this path of scanning everything, the more you're going to see these populate in your research table. So it's very important that you unlock as much research as you can. This next one is a zombie or a skeleton. You scan them and you get Extaminus. Let's see, I could try to spawn a zombie real quick. Skeleton will probably die and shoot me. So, oh, I'm on peaceful. Nope. Alright, quickly before he burns to death, we scan him, and there we go. We've got the Extremis, which is the skull, and he's running away because he's going to die quickly. Actually, I will put him out of his misery, and he's gone. So that's that's the one that you want for it. For zombie or skeleton, it's this guy right here, Extaminus, undead, things that are undead. Next is a spider eye. That would give you Venium and Census. Venium would be the poison. Census is the owl. Let's see. Let me give you a chance to grab those. Remember that the research that we did was air and precantatio to get Aurum. So that'll get you that wall. And then just a few more here. If we scan a hoe, and this is any kind of hoe, we'll get Mido, which is the scythe, represents agriculture. If we scan an arrow, then we're going to get Tellum, which is the blade, kind of like a Yeah, a weapon. If we scan leather, then we'll get tudum, which is the blue armor. A pickaxe will give us perfidio, which is obviously the pickaxe breaking something. Tainted goo. Now this one's going to be pretty hard to get. The other thing that Thaumcraft adds is taint biomes. There's these purple biomes that have a lot of little particles going around. You want to generally avoid them because they will do damage to you. But if you are able to get tainted goo, then you want to scan it as quickly as possible, because if you grab it in your inventory, it will end up dissolving and infecting you with taint, which will do kind of poison damage to you for a little bit. So just be careful going out into the taint. When you destroy a couple of things in the taint, sometimes they'll drop tainted goo. But that's how you get that. And that purple thing is the essence, the Vindium essence that we need to do. Now the very last thing we've got here is to combine research, and we shouldn't have a button on that one. And that is air and aqua. Air and aqua will give us tempest. So let's do that real quick. Air and aqua. Combine that, and we're going to get, well, that's Mobius. So okay, you can just skip that one. You don't need that one at all. That's from an old list. All right, so now that you've got everything scanned, and let me step back from this. Yeah, you don't need that one. You can take a snapshot of that, or pause it and write those down. Again, this list is online in several different places. I'm not going to post a link to it. If you just look for research, Thaumcraft research scanning order, then you'll find it. And if you don't want to shortcut and go through all of these, then you can basically walk around the world and scan every single item that you find. There's nothing wrong with that. You know, well, I don't want an item frame there. I want to scan the item frame. So if I hold shift, nope, that's not going to do it either. Okay, well, we scan this. You can scan the sign, that gives you something. You can scan an anvil, that will give you something. So I mean, all of these items can be found in a lot of different other stuff. And as we move on into the next step, which is research, you're going to want to scan as much stuff as you can so you can get these points, these research points. Now I have a lot in here, and I'll show you the reason for that in a minute, because I'm going to walk you through how to do research using the book that the Thaumaturgy that we got. All your research is going to require these points, and you're going to use up a lot of research. The research points that you get is probably going to be the one thing that keeps you from going through and unlocking and making all of this stuff on the first day, besides the materials themselves. Because the research points and the magic that you need to build these items is what slows you down, and you will need to constantly be scanning things. And there's a couple other ways that you can get research points to fill this up. Again, you can always combine the 6 primals to make every single thing here, and once you start, it's not showing up for me. Actually no, it's part of the research. You'll be able to hover over a specific thing and see what 2 pieces that you can combine to make more of that. So real quickly, let's go over research, because research is going to be one of our big things that we're going to have to do. I'm going to show you how to do the research the hard way. I will tell you that there's 3 different settings in Thaumcraft that are in the config file if you're running your own server, or you're doing it on a solo world locally on your computer. If you go into the config, the CFG folder, and look for the Thaumcraft config, about 3/4 of the way down there's a section where it says research difficulty, and you can set it to the number 1, which is very hard, which means that every single item that you try to unlock in here is going to require doing research notes, and I'll show you how to do research notes in a minute. And then there's going to be other 0, which means only half of the items in here are going to take research notes. The other are just going to take research points. And then lastly, if you do a -1, which is the easy mode, that means everything in here just requires research points, and you don't need to do notes to unlock the research. So research notes, that's the thing that we're up to now, and that'll probably be the last thing I cover in this episode, considering that the scanning and going over all of that took quite a while. Excuse me. Research notes are what the Thaumaturgy gives us when we want to unlock the next step in our item tree or our skill tree. To get research, to unlock things, like I said, there's two different ways. There's the ones that need research notes, and there's ones that need research points. Research notes, you cannot unlock, you cannot get the research note itself until you have paper and a scribing tool in your inventory. It will consume a paper and it will consume a little bit of ink from your scribing tool. So let's go ahead and go through that. We're going to open up our Thaumaturgy, and inside our Thaumaturgy we've got 5 different tabs. We've got basic information, thaumaturgy, which is all about using your wand and getting better wands, alchemy, which is just like it sounds, artifice, which this is where some of your bigger magical machines come into play, and golemancy. Golemancy is where you basically create little miniature golems that go around and do work for you around your base. Okay, and we'll go into all of this stuff as we progress through the tutorials videos. The ones I want you to concentrate on first and right out of the bat is this basic information. Now you have a lot of these that are open that you can click on and read, and you can always hit escape to back up, but I strongly encourage you to read through all the stuff that's in here. We talked about the ores and what you can do with them. There's also essence. Anytime you're confused about what makes up certain aspects, you can always click on here, and here's your list. Okay, if you want to make Bestia, you can combine Vicus and Modus to make Bestia. Okay, and then if you hover over this, it's going to tell you what did you scan what have you scanned that has Bestia in it, and that will come in handy later on as well. So that is always there. Aspects of magic, how to do research, knowledge fragments, how to use the Thaumaturgy. Okay, but I highly recommend that you unlock these other 7 items, because this side of the tree talks about all the auras and nodes that are out there and how to use the magic that's in the nodes, and even to the point of being able to capture those nodes and take them back to your base so that you have them conveniently located for recharging your wand whenever you'd like. The other important aspect is this tree right here, which is all about research expertise. The sooner you unlock these 3 things right here, then the cheaper research is going to be, and the easier it's going to be for you to get research points. That's the deconstruction table, and you can get research points very easily using the deconstruction table. So for right now, I'm just going to try to unlock research expertise. I'm going to click on it. It's going to add a research note into my inventory for research expertise. That's what this is right here. Okay, that's the research note. Now I can't open it, but what you do with it, you go over here to your table and you drop it into your table. Alright, now if you hadn't gone through and scanned all those items and unlocked all these different essences, you'd have 2 question marks here, because you wouldn't know what these are. Now the way this grid works is that you need to draw a line between these 3 essences to complete the research note. Alright, and to do that, I found a website that will help you list what essences that you can drag over and put in this to complete the chart. Now if you don't want any kind of help, then the key to this is to go back into your Thaumaturgy, look in your aspects of magic, and one of the items that was there was the owl, which is sensus. Okay, so you'd look at what sensus is made of. It's made of air and spirits. So one of the first steps that you could do is you could come over here and drag air next to sensus, and that's how you combine things. All right, so what's in cognitio, right? So we're going to come over here, go back to this, look up cognitio, terra, and spiritus. Well, spiritus was also part of air, right? Or it was part of this. So maybe there's a possibility, and I'm guessing at this point, that we change this out and we put air right here in between the two. Okay, well, it's gray, so that means it didn't work. Every time you drag one of your essence over here, you're spending a research point. So that's something else to consider. Now, this is order. That's a primary. What do we do for primaries? Well, we need to come in here and we need to look at essences that contain the primary. Like Gellum. Gellum contains Ordo, but I don't think we're going to be able to use Gellum to combine with Spiritus and Air. So it's all about what can be used to combine with those. Ordo is also an instrumentarium and Granum. See, it's a primal aspect. It's part of Metallum. It's part of Potentia. So this is quite a puzzle, and even this one is just a very small one with three things to connect. As you get further and further along into the research path, you'll have bigger ones and bigger ones that have 4, 5, even 6 essences that are surrounding this huge grid that you have to connect. So hold on a second. Let me pull up that website, and I'm going to clear that out, and I will get our answer for us. Okay, we're back, and wouldn't you know it, I did need Gellum to connect these three. So what I've done, obviously I used the website. The website asks what version of Thaumcraft you're using, and then it asks you to pick your starting location and your ending location, and how many steps you have to fill in. So I picked Ordo, and I picked the census, and said I needed 3 steps, and it showed me what 3 aspects I needed to put in there. Then from that point, I picked this one, the cognitive, and cognito, and I tried connecting it to Tempest in 1 step, but that didn't work. So I noticed that it said that it could do it in 3 if you use air. So I, instead of putting air and going all the way around like this, I just connected to this air essence with Essentia and Spiritus to complete the tree. Now you don't have to connect this one to that one and this one. You just have to have them all connecting in a line. You can actually have them go in a circle if you want, but this is the way I did it. Once you complete it, you'll see that the grid disappears, and up here we have ourselves our discovery. So we take our discovery, put it in our hotbar, and we right click on it, and we've just learned something in here. See, this is now unlocked, research expertise. And what this has done is we have become more efficient in performing research. When you remove an aspect that you placed in a hex, there's a 25% chance that you will regain the research point. You're also able to see what aspects you need to combine to create an aspect you are hovering over. Now, remember when I was telling you that later on you'll be able to see what these are made of? This will speed up you having to go back and forth to your book to see what they're comprised of. Now, later on, if you unlock even more research, I believe this next one will let you create research. Like if you're here and you've got enough of the Victus and the Aqua, you can shift and click on it and create more without having to put them on those 2 things on the table. So again, I highly recommend that you, as your first act, of research, you start going through all the basic information and unlock all of these, because there are a couple of these, especially the node tapping, are essential to opening up other aspects of Thaumcraft, and then these over here will just make your experience in Thaumcraft that much easier, because it will cut down on wasted research points and make you more efficient in doing research. Now, that being said, from this point forward, I'm not going to really be going into what you need to do for every single research note that you need. We will talk a lot about all the different things that are in this book. When I come back after the next episode, I will probably just go ahead and unlock everything in this book so you can see everything that we're talking about. And I've got several notes back here that talk about the different research paths that you need to follow, and certain things that you shouldn't bypass, or key research that is absolutely necessary to unlock further aspects of the game. But for right now, I'm going to wrap up this episode. This is a good starting point. It kind of got your feet wet as far as getting a wand and starting to do some scanning of the items in the world, as well as doing our first research. Feel free to go ahead and dig into the other research parts that are in this basic tab. Like I said, I will not be going over every single one of them. I'm going to be concentrating on the items that you can make and what you need to collect to make them. If you are on an easy, well, I'll show you what it looks like to see. These are all research notes. Let's see if I've got one here that just requires research points. Okay, well, what will happen if you have one that just requires research points, instead of it asking to do a research note, it will show you right underneath there. There we go. This is one of the easier ones. Okay, so this one won't require research points. All it requires is those 2 essences, and if you have that many research points in your table, you can click on that and it's unlocked. That's how the easy research is done. You saw how using research notes are done, and that's the easy step. Now, like I said, there's 3 different difficulty levels. There's hard, which means every single thing requires a note. There's normal, which means half and half, which is what we're looking at now. And then there's easy, where everything just requires points, and you don't need to make any notes at all. So that being said, that's in your config, and we probably won't be going over any more research notes from this point forward. I hope you've enjoyed. I know this has been kind of a long starting episode. I'm going to try to keep these cut down to about half an hour each. As we go through, like I said, there's going to be a lot to cover, and I didn't even finish up this whole path here on our starting episode. So we'll start back right here talking about the different wands that we can make, and a couple of the other different tools that we can make to continue on with our quest to unlock Thaumcraft. Hope you guys have a great day, and we'll see you again next time, guys. Alright, bye-bye.